Hello DJs and other musical event professionals. I've got a question for you. Do you have a piece of equipment that serves a really good need for you, but it just doesn't look good? I mean, it works great, it serves its purpose, but you're always hiding it, trying to keep the client from seeing it because it doesn't really put you in the best light. Well, I have that, and I'm going to come clean here, and I'm going to show you mine. Here's mine. This is my mixer that I use, and then down here is, because I do video DJ work, these are like my video splitters, and up in there, in the deep dark cavern, is all the power supplies for all my stuff. And it comes out right here, and this just one plug, and then it all plugs in, and then these right here go to my laptop, and then this is for my mixer. And you know, it's one of those things that stays behind my facade, and yeah, that's from the office supply store right there. And I you know, got that attached to the mixer so it stays on top, and then it's just a couple latches right there in case I want to take the mixer off. Well, time to make things look a little better. So I went and I got a toolbox from Home Depot, and I measured everything, and I want to try and get this all in here, and that way, and I'll you know, get rid of the orange stuff so it's just a nice solid black case. And my idea here is to have everything just sit there. This will pop open. The lid will be behind my facade, so you won't see the lid. But I'll walk in, and it'll just be a black case. You know, I'll turn all that black and get rid of all that. Pop it open. There'll be my mixer. All the power supplies and everything will be under there, and I'll have the hookups for my laptops and everything like that, and the video splitters. And it's my hope is that it's going to clean up everything real nice and present a lot better, and I won't be all worried hey Evan, about my clients seeing it. And yeah, I'll try to do something about this little seam right here too and get rid of all that bright orange. But that's my project right now, to make things look better and improve the looks, and that way I'm not having equipment that I'm trying to hide from the client. So let's venture forth and see what we can do with this. Alright, so I took off the obnoxious little orange strip from around there, so it's becoming black. Got my mixer down in there. This is my video splitter. I'm cleaning that up a little more. And it's going to mount right there in the lid, like that. See, the connections are there, and it's going to mount in the lid. Looks like it'll mount pretty flush. And I'll raise up the mixer a little bit, and it should just pack real nicely. I'll put some foam underneath it, and then put Velcro, some industrial strength Velcro, and it should just stick right there. And I think that's going to work real nicely. And I'll have all my power supplies and stuff under the mixer and all that good stuff. And I'm probably going to drill a hole in it somewhere so that I can just plug everything right into the side. So still working on it. Work in progress, but I think it's going to be good. Maybe I'll set the mixer back like that, and maybe I'll be able to have the plug-in right here. This looks like a good place to drill, right in the center. And I'll just plug in right there. You know, have a little plug-in right there. I flip the lid on it and just put my cord right there, bam, and then plug it into my power conditioner. So yeah, I'm planning on making this thing look good. I'm gonna take pains because I do not want this to look hokey. So there we go, hokey pokey time. Okay, so figured out how I'm gonna mount my video splitter, and it's gonna be like that. And I've got some pieces of foam in there, which I'm going to sort of epoxy into place, and then that's gonna Velcro onto that foam. That, or actually more like that. So and stupid me, when I flip this around, see, that's the lid over here, I sanded the wrong part. I sanded it the wrong way, so I got to get back to sanding here. That way the adhesive has something to stick to. Alright, I have this sanded down in the correct spots now. And actually, it's going to be like that. And I've got a rough side to this foam. It came out of another case where it was glued in. This doesn't matter because this won't be seen. It's just there to take up that space. And I sand it so that the adhesive will have something to stick to. So it'll stick to the rough side of that, and it'll stick to the rough side of that. I do have to clean this out and get all the plastic residue because we want that to stick real nice. I'm really kind of kicking myself for sanding in the wrong place because I want this to look as nice as possible. But you know, here over time this is going to get roughed up somehow, some way anyway. So I'm going to clean this out and get some adhesive going on here. This is the best thing I had laying around the house. It's some silicone auto marine sealant, and I hope it'll do fine. And once I get this in here, I am then going to put some Velcro on it, and then some Velcro on the underside of my splitter, and then it'll go down like that. But first I'm going to put the sealant in. I'm going to put a heavy weight down to, you know, hold that there and probably let it sit for a good 24 hours and just let it just sit there and bond. And then I shall continue. Alright, so got this silicone and I'm going to just put it on there nice and thick. So I want it to, you know, I just want it to be a nice, good bond. And, you know, what I'm trying to stick it to is a little sketchy. It's been sanded down to get it to stick. And I want a really good bond. So I'm going to put this stuff on here nice and thick. First comes out, it's got a pretty powerful oh dear to it. Whoa! I'm not sure if I should be wearing a mask while I do this or not, but not like I work with this stuff every day, so I'm not that worried about it. I'm not sure if I need to be wearing gloves while I do this, but I don't think so. So anyway, just like icing a cake, you know, we want it nice and thick. Just like that. All over the place. Stick it into place right here. Here where it's been sanded down and waiting for it. Unfortunately, that part's kind of sticking up because the way the case is built. Not a lot I can do about that. Maybe I'll find something to stick underneath that. Take that up. But anyway, there you go. You get the idea. Okay, I've got the foam pieces down and weight put on top of them. I just stuck 2 of my video splitters, a couple of my laptop power supplies which have some weight, and then a battery box I'm working on for another project. You should be able to see that video on my YouTube channel. And there we go. I'm just going to let that sit just like that. Probably till tomorrow morning. And I'm sure my family just loves me taking over the kitchen counter like this, don't you? Yeah, that's my wife, Michelle. She's very supportive. Anyway, we continue. Okay, so the pads in there, they stuck really, really well. So now I just put some silicone adhesive on the top, and I put some rough side Velcro on top of the pads. And I'm going to let those sit up overnight and cure. Meanwhile, I'm over here, the box that I'm about to mount, and I've marked off where those pads are going to connect on the underside of this. And I've come and I've scuffed up that surface so that the adhesive would stick better. And I've cut my soft side of my Velcro, I mean officially hook and loop. And so I'm cutting that, and then I'm going to adhere that down and maybe put a weight on there to make sure that it bonds real well. I'm not really too worried about that bonding real well because the foam has some porous qualities to it, so I'm expecting that just to bond real nice, not to mention if I lay something on top, that silicone. Actually, what I might do is I'll bond that, and then I'll go ahead and stick that down there since it's going to adhere anyway, and then put weight on top of it all and then let it cure, and that'll really make sure that that stays in place. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, I've got the Velcro all tacked in place on both sides, and then I just set the HDMI splitter down into place, and now I am going to stack some weight on top of that, same weight I had before, and let it cure overnight. And come tomorrow morning, that thing should just be nicely and solidly in place, and the Velcro should be cured enough and grabbing on that hopefully if I ever need to take it out or swap it out for my backup one over here, that it just, goes and comes out. So here we go. Alright, so there we go. We've got all the things stacked on top to put weight on it while the glue cures, and we're just going to let that sit overnight. It should cure up.
Cheese.
Alright, so now I've got my 2 power supplies for my computers, and you see the floor of this thing has a ridge in it, so it can't lay flush. Therefore, I've got the thinnest piece of foam, because I don't want to raise this up too high, because I don't want any problems with what's in the lid. I don't really need it up real high, but I've got this thickness of foam, but I've only got a piece that big. So I'm going to cut it into quarters and just elevate that, and that should provide some nice airflow underneath these power supplies. I'm already not loving the fact that they're so encased in something black. I'm kind of worried about them overheating, so I want to raise them up a little bit. This is the thinnest black foam I have, and I've only got that much, so I'm going to cut it into quarters, put a little square under the middle of each, and then we shall, Velcro that to the top of those and see how it goes. All right, here we go. Okay, I've got the rubber blocks set down in there and glued into place. I sanded the places where they're securing to, and then I also glued some Velcro strips to the top, some rough side Velcro, and then I just put stuff on top of it just to give it weight, and I'll let it sit overnight. Then tomorrow, I'll put soft side Velcro. I'll secure that to the rough side Velcro, which is glued in place. Put glue on top of the soft side Velcro, and then put my power supplies down on top of that and glue that into place. So it'll just be held in there with Velcro. And then I'll let that sit for a while. And so, anyway, so it's just another night of waiting and gluing. Ooh, I left the cap off my glue. I better put that back on. Okay, it's the following morning. As you can see, my little blocks of foam rubber are in place real nice. The Velcro is secured on there real nice. I'm just now cut soft side Velcro, and I've put it face down here. And there's no glue on the backs of the soft side yet, so I'm going to put glue on there, and then I'm going to rough up the places where it's going to stick on the bottom of here. That way when I put these down on there, it'll adhere real nicely. So here I go. Glue and Velcro, sand, glue and Velcro. We continue. Okay, so as you can see, I've kind of roughed up the bottoms here where those are going to stick. Come back on the backs of the Velcro there, and I've put glue there, and I'll just take my finger and spread it around, and then I shall put the power bricks down on top there and let them sit till later on. Okay, now I've put my power supplies down in place on top there, and I want to be careful to leave enough room right there, because I'm going to eventually drill a hole right here and put a power plug there. So I just go on the outside and then plug it into the outlet from there. So I want to make sure I've got enough left right there. So anyway, let's go ahead and put some weight on this guy. We'll go ahead and stack the mixer back on top to keep it in place, keep it nice and secure, and I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't have to go too crazy on it, because gravity's gonna really keep all this in place for me a lot, and there's some good weight on these power packs, although these are my thinner ones. Anyway, I'm gonna go stack stuff back on top, let it sit for a while. Alright, the power supplies, the glue on the Velcro is all cured, and I just now roughed up the tops with some sandpaper in a cross pattern, that way and then that way. And I figured out what part of this is going to sit, and I marked off the bottom. This is my mixer, bottom of my mixer, and I marked off the part where the Velcro is going to sit, and said Velcro's on, and I'm going to rough that up with some sandpaper too. And then I'm going to do the Velcro job just like I did on the last part, and that should be the end of my Velcro attachment. Okay, so I've got the Velcro glued under. You can't really see it. Now the mixer's in place, and I made sure to have that plugged in to make sure that I've got the spacing correct. I know you can't see what I did down there, but you saw the surfaces I roughed up, and now I'm trying to figure out a way to put pressure on this to let it sit overnight. And the best thing I came up with is this piece of foam, which I think I'm going to be putting in there just for packing, just to take some pressure off those Velcro points when in transport. But I got to make sure that it doesn't put pressure on that cable coming off there. I want to leave that plugged in, so just to make sure that when I close it, I scoot it over so it misses that. But anyway, I'm going to put this piece of foam in here, and when I close this, it should add all the pressure I need right down on that and let that sit overnight. So here we go. Here we go. Make sure I had to put all the cables in there. I didn't worry about doing a real nice job of it, but as long as they don't get pinched in the door. Here we go. Right there. That's one. And that's two, and that'll just sit overnight. Now my next things are, I need to get this appears to be a sticker. I want to get that sticker off there, then sand that orange part, the orange plastic down, and hit it with some black spray paint. And then these little orange things right here, I want to cut those off. And this handle right here, I'm not sure what I can do with that. Maybe scuff it up, hit it with some spray paint for right now, and then if that proves to not be very good, and it probably won't be a good solution, then maybe this is just a rubberized handle that went around it. I think I might be able to cut that off, but it's not a problem I need to solve right this second. So I'm going to work on getting that sticker off, scuffing that up, and cutting those things off. I should be able to do that while that thing's sitting. Okay guys, it's the following morning, and the glue has been curing overnight in an enclosed box. I have a few other things to do, so I think I might just let this cure a little while longer and maybe get to this later in the morning. But discovered that this handle truly is rubber, so I've just been slowly picking at it with this, but it's very, very slow going. So maybe that'll just be an ongoing project, and I'll just kind of pick at it for a few months. So anyway, I'm going to organize the rest of my box here a little later on this morning. And well, there it is. But I think the next step going to be to get everything plugged in, get my wires. I've got a 5-way splitter I'm going to throw in here, and then everything will plug into that, which should be good. I've got the splitter, which makes one, the mixer, 2 computers, and that should be it. So a 5-way splitter that I have should take care of all 4 of those. And then these things will go in, the idea. And I'm going to drill little holes here and put some screws in there so that they open like little doors like that. So that should be nice. So a little cable management and everything, and I should be able to get this looking prim and proper. And then my idea for right now, I may pad out the roof of this, but I want with some of that black foam right in there to make sure these doors aren't popping open. My idea is to just have this stuff, my little connectors for my computers and things, for how I get in and out of the mixing right there, and then have the cable that ultimately plugs everything in, which I believe is this. Did I even bring it in? It's not even in here yet. This will just sit on top over here, and that'll be how it plugs in. You can't really visualize it right now, but that'll kind of be what it looks like when I open it up.
But yeah, I may have to mount some foam in there and in there just to keep this thing from flying open and acting up. But we'll see. Let's see how the mixer's doing. See, it seems to be in place real nicely. Actually, it seems to be nice and firm. Alright, so the mixer is mounted. I don't really want to tempt fate and try to rip it off the Velcro or do anything stupid like that. I just want to leave it alone. But yeah, it seems to be nice and solid. So, you know, since it's on Velcro, it should come up when and if I need it to. Good deal. Okay, now it's time to make this thing look pretty. Okay, I've sanded down that logo and orange part. Now I'm just gonna mask it off. That way when I hit it with the spray paint, it won't overspray onto all kinds of stuff, because even though it'll be black on black, it could still stand out, and I want to make sure this ends up looking good. Alright, I think I got that masked off pretty good, and I'm ready to hit that with some spray paint. Alright, I have now installed these dividers as little doors, so they'll go down like that. Thing is shaping up nicely. Right. And when they're down, they'll pretty much stay down. But yeah, maybe I could put a little knob or something I can grab it a little easier with, because it's a little tough to grab, but I don't really plan on opening them that much. But anyway, there you go. And so, you know, that's sort of what it's supposed to look like when it's done right there. Anyway, I've got to now do all the inside wiring and put the splitters in and get everything plugged in, so I just have one cable coming out of it. And there's the inside of the box all cleaned up. I mean, this is where I sanded it in the wrong place before. Not a lot I can do about that. I suppose when I spray paint, I can hit that with a little paint, and that'll just and not be careful not to hit anything else. I can probably gussy that up a little bit, but there it is. I've got all the connections down there. They've got this door screwed shut, actually, with a little screw right there, because that's where all the power things are connected. This is right here. This is the power to the laptop that goes on that side, so that'll come out like that. This is the power to the whole unit. Thinking about putting a input right there, but you know what? There's a lot to be said for a cord that just comes right out. So I might just leave it be like that for a little while and see how I like that. But over here, this is where I keep all my cables. Maybe I'll put a little knob on that, but that's a little place to keep all my cables where I connect my computers and everything. That's the power for the right hand computer, and then I've got everything I connected up with right there. And guys, I think I'm ready to roll. Just a little touch-up paint, and that thing's ready to paint. I'll hit that. I've got a gig this weekend, and I don't really want all this ugly orange showing. So might actually hit that with some paint just to get through this weekend and just chip it off as I go in the next week, because I am working for a different DJ company, and I want to make sure that everything looks tight for him. But I'll plug this thing in. Well, heck, let's just plug it in right now and see if everything lights up. No time like the present. Okay, so we can get over there to that wall switch, and it'll really suck if it doesn't light up, because then I'll have to come over here and pull a bunch of stuff apart. But it should light up. Well, there's my my video splitter. See if the mixer's lighting up. I'm just going to assume that the laptops are lighting up, and I've got 2 power supplies down there. If I get to the gig and it's not there, I can always I've got power supplies and everything else, so I'll figure out what's going on. But yeah, I'm confident the power supplies are working. So there we go. I'm gonna hit it with some spray paint, and we'll be off to the races. And when I pack up this power cable, I'll just kind of put right down here, and the other cable to the left hand side I'll just put right there. The one to the right hand side is tucked in here. So I think that's gonna work just fine.
I love it when a plan comes together.
And here I've spray painted that handle. As you can see, it just looks a little chewed up. And that's because I'm still working on it. Spray painted this. Looks like I'm going to still see the logo under it a little bit, but you know, it's blacked out. And let's go ahead and pull the masking off of it. See what it looks like. And then we'll just have a quick look-see at the final product and wrap this video up. And that, folks, I think we've got our finished product here. And I can pull this tag off. And I'll scrape that off later. But here we go. Let's get a little better light on the subject here. Ta-da! Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is Neil Smith, the Dandy DJ, serving a 5-hour radius of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is a half-hour south of Nashville. Buy my books, damn it. The Wedding DJ Bible, and also Pick a Perfect Wedding DJ, both available on Amazon in paperback, ebook, and also on Audible, iTunes, and Amazon in audiobook format. Okay, that's enough. Check you later. Remember, if it deserves to be celebrated, it deserves to be dandy. Let me know your thoughts on this project in the comments below. Give me a like and subscribe. I appreciate it very much.